Hello, my name is Barbara Elvira Hokkanen, and this is Angel Talks. And it is Friday, the 22nd of March, 2019, and it is 2:45 a.m. And I'm going to smoke some pot. Now, I don't have too much on this plate, so I like to see a nice amount on there. So, here's some weed right here. I'm going to just, that's there, it's still on that, and pop it in the grinder. And what I'd like to do is start by saying hello to anybody who happens to be watching, and hello to my dear love, God. And you, if anybody's watching, you are my dear love too, from a distance. And my dear love, God, who is always with me. And God is watching everything that we do, everything that we're thinking. God knows everything about each one of us. And God is ready to communicate with each one of us. Each one of us. And it really got me thinking. So, I believe in God, our Creator. That is who I put my allegiance with, is whoever made me. Because I happen to be that type of a loyal person for whoever made me. And I think nobody knows me better than whoever made me. So that's why I align myself with my Maker, to get as much information about myself and about living well in this life as I can. And it occurred to me that whoever made us really might not be the be-all end-all. There could be, of course, there must be even more and greater than our God who created us. I believe there is much more out there, but I feel an allegiance to whoever made me, thinking that maybe that entity knows me the best. But I certainly, and I believe other species and other entities are looking in on us and watching us, especially what kind of example we make. And I want to make the most loving example possible. Just a pure loving example, so that I can be a testament to what we on earth can be like. Not fighting and warring and killing each other and stabbing each other and shooting each other for no fucking reason, really. Just doing it because the gun is there and it's meant to kill. That's what a gun is meant to do, or intimidate or kill. So if you have a gun, that's what you're going to use it for. So I'm an example of pure love. Pure love. And I have reason to not always love, but I do love purely. I do, and I want to be an example for mankind here, because I am right here. But my spirit goes elsewhere. My spirit is larger than this skin bag here. And I just wanted to say that I welcome anybody who's watching in, any species that's watching in through those files, because you never know. I just believe, like, I love everybody, but I really show my allegiance. I'm showing my faith and my allegiance in my Maker. That I think my Maker is supernatural and loving and knows me very well. So I'm like tied in with my Maker. And that's where the happiness comes from, really. And also the happiness comes from me having a roof over my head and food to eat, definitely. So, and nice family. But we never know what could be around the corner, good, bad, or indifferent. We don't know. We think we know because we have routines that usually they go the routine way, but anything could happen. But I'm going to be loving. I'm going to be loving. That's the way I'm built. I'm built to be a lover. Definitely. God made me that way. God just wired me that way. I've been loving ever since I can remember. Ever since I can remember. Okay, here's a little joint. So let's have a puff of this. This is going to be over here. This is there. This. 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 Thank you, dear God. Thank you, dear flame. Thank you. Thank you. I usually thank God before each joint, or as I'm puffing it. I thank God for the joint. Or the bong. I'm going to play with my fingernails again. It's an addiction. I stopped doing it for a few days there, like about a week. Okay. I'm going to get a little bit of lip balm. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. complete moisture, Blistex, and that is divine. Divine. Oh. It just feels so good. This feels so totally good. Feels so totally good. So does smoking. I love the actual act of smoking. Just love it. Love it. You won't hear me saying, I wish I could quit. No, I'm a real smoker. I'm a die-hard smoker. I hope I don't die hard, but I might. But I'm a die-hard smoker. Dyed in the wool smoker. Now let's just have a little look here. Put on the glasses. It is, let's pop this over here. It is 2:57 a.m. on Friday. Friday, March the 22nd, 2019. And really, when you think about it, like, we don't know who made the animals. All we know is that on this earth, there are animals placed here. So, just because we're stronger than them doesn't mean we're actually superior to them. So, really take for gospel that animals are aliens. They are aliens. You don't have to make them with big heads and three eyes. Animals are aliens. So you have to be super careful how you treat an animal. It's like it really wrapped up with karma. Really wrapped up with karma. How you treat an animal. And my God, I just adore animals. Just adore them. Just adore them. They're aliens. And I'm sure we are aliens to them. Or maybe they have intelligence beyond what we could even imagine, which could very well be. But anyway, animals are aliens. And please remember, these are the three mottos of God's religion. God is real, always love, and all matter matters. Okay, let's do a left-hand random pick. LHRP. Let's get this right here. to not move. Okay. It's right within and. Within vertical line and. That's where my finger is. That's where my finger is. Okay. And it is, oh my goodness. Ezekiel 22. So it's like right in between them both. So Ezekiel, Ezekiel 22, 25, 25, and Ezekiel 23, 6. So I will read those two verses. First of all, Ezekiel 22:25. There is a conspiracy of her princes within her, like a roaring lion tearing its prey. They devour people, take treasures and precious things, and make many widows within her. And Ezekiel 23:6. 23:6. Clothed in blue, governors and commanders, all of them, handsome young men and mounted horsemen. That's those two. Okay, I know of course what these two stories are, but I'm gonna read okay. I'm gonna read Ezekiel 22. Read Ezekiel 22. It's called Jerusalem Sins. And I'm telling you, no Jew wrote this, I don't think. But anyway, this is here. Jerusalem Sins, Ezekiel 22. The word of the Lord came to me. Son of man, will you judge her? Will you judge this city of bloodshed? Then confront her with all her detestable practices and say, this is what the sovereign Lord says. O city that brings on herself doom by shedding blood in her midst, and defiles herself by making idols. You have become guilty because of the blood you have shed, and have become defiled by the idols you have made. You have brought your days to a close, and the end of your years has come. Therefore I will make you an object of scorn to the nations, and a laughingstock to all the countries. Those who are near and those who are far away will mock you, O infamous city full of turmoil. See how each of the princes of Israel who are in you uses his power to shed blood. In you they have treated father and mother with contempt. In you they have oppressed the alien and mistreated the fatherless and the widow. You have despised my holy things and desecrated my Sabbaths. In you are slanderous men bent on shedding blood. In you those who eat at the mountain shrines and commit lewd acts. In you are those who dishonor their father's bed. In you are those who violate women during their period, when they are ceremonially unclean. In you one man commits a detestable offense with his neighbor's wife, another shamefully defiles his daughter-in-law, and another violates his sister, his own father's daughter. In you men accept bribes to shed blood. You take usury and excessive interest and make unjust gain from your neighbors by extortion, and you have forgotten me, declares the sovereign Lord. I surely strike my hands together at the unjust gain you have made and at the blood you have shed in your midst. Will your courage endure on your hands, be strong in the day I deal with you? Let me just read that again. Will your courage endure, or your hands be strong in the day I deal with you? I, the Lord, have spoken, and I will do it. I will disperse you among the nations and scatter you through the countries, and I will put an end to your uncleanness. When you have been defiled in the eyes of the nations, you will know that I am the Lord. Then the word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, the house of Israel has become dross to me. All of them are the copper, tin, iron, and lead left inside a furnace. They are but the dross of silver. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Because you have all become dross, I will gather you into Jerusalem, as men gather silver, copper, iron, lead into tin, and tin into a furnace to melt it with a fiery blast. So will I gather you in my anger and my wrath, and put you inside the city and melt you. I will gather you, and I will blow on you in my fiery wrath, and you will be melted inside her, as silver is melted in a furnace. So you will be melted inside her, and you will know that I, the Lord, have poured out my wrath upon you. Again the word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, say to the land, you are a land that has had no rain or showers in the day of wrath. There is a conspiracy of her princes within her, like a roaring lion tearing its prey. They devour people, take treasures and precious things, and make many widows within her. Her priests do violence to my law and profane my holy things. They do not distinguish between the holy and the common. They teach that there is no difference between the unclean and the clean, and they shut their eyes to the keeping of my Sabbaths, so that I am profaned among them. Her officials within her are like wolves tearing their prey. They shed blood and kill people to make unjust gain. Her prophets whitewash these deeds for them by false visions and lying divinations. They say, this is what the sovereign Lord says, when the Lord has not spoken. The people of the land practice extortion and commit robbery. They oppress the poor and needy and mistreat the alien, denying them justice. I looked for a man among them who would build up the wall and stand before me in a gap on behalf of the land, so I would not have to destroy it. But I found none. So I will pour out my wrath on them and consume them with my fiery anger, bringing down on them their own heads all they have done, declares the sovereign Lord. Well, this is what I say to that. Whoever wrote this, it's like it's anti-Semitic. I would have to say this is like, see, a lot of the Bible is not true, and this is where I separate from it for sure. Jerusalem is a place on this ship. It's a location on this ship. Nobody owns that land. We skim across it. Nobody owns that land. Nobody can own the land. It's just a purely fictitious thing that we think we own the land. Nobody owns the land any more than the ants own the underground. We're just passing through on this ship, and I wish I could be there and do peace talks between Israel and Palestine, because I have the love to bridge those two together and try to explain to them that what I should really do is read what they read. Read what they read. That's what I will do. I promise you that I will read what the Jews, what they base their thing on. Is it the Torah? I will read that. And also the Quran. I wonder how long these things are. Like the Quran and the Torah, if it's the Torah. But I will read those and I will tell you what I think of them. And I know, because God is the God of every person. So anything made up by man is very easy to detect. If it's something that with logic is not possible, then you know it's man-made fantasy, and don't believe it. Don't hold any stock in it, because it's just one man's fantasy, so there's no stock in it. That's like stock in the air. It's not truth, just fiction. The only person who profits is the one who made the document and gets a part of the sales of how many Bibles you sell. That's where you get the money, is selling the actual book. Anyway, I totally forgot. That's a good one. So please understand, God is a very loving God, and with me, God has me. I'm God's secret weapon, believe me. I totally give God like so much love that God is just saturated with love with me. My love for God keeps this earth spinning. That's what I believe. Oh my God. Like really, really. And it's the same. I have this super, super, super strong love for my sons. And people. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Oh, I've had my ups and downs. I've had my ups and downs with people. And I am a recluse now, but I still, my heart is for the people. My heart is for the people. Like, we're all trying our best. But keep in mind, we have pictures of what we want to live. You have to sit down and what picture do you want to live? You have to think how much debt you're going to be in. What is the picture that you want to live? And be happy. Because don't have a picture where you present yourself as an unhappy person. Like, I don't think anybody wants to be unhappy. So put yourself in a picture where you're going to be happy. Put yourself in a picture there. So picture it. You can have any picture you want in the world. Literally, anybody can. If it's like, you have to be realistic with yourself. Like, be realistic. But think about it. Like, you want a big house? Oh, come on. Costs a lot of money to maintain it and clean it and running around getting things up and downstairs. Do you want a big place? Everybody thinks they want a big, huge house, but what in the world for? Unless you have a lot of kids. If you have a lot of kids, here you go. Anyway, Ezekiel 23, I'm just going to read a little bit of this. It's an allegory. It's Ezekiel 23, 2 adulterous sisters is the heading. The word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, there were 2 women, daughters of the same mother. They became prostitutes in Egypt, engaging in prostitution from their youth. In that land their breasts were fondled and their virgin bosoms caressed. The older was named Oholah and her sister Oholibah. They were mine and gave birth to sons and daughters. Oholah is Samaria and Oholibah is Jerusalem. Oholah engaged in prostitution while she was still mine, and she lusted after her lovers, the Assyrians, warriors clothed in blue, governors and commanders, all of them, handsome young men and mounted horsemen. She gave herself as a prostitute to all of the elite of the Assyrians, and defiled herself with all the idols of everyone she lusted after. She did not give up the prostitution she began in Egypt, when during her youth men slept with her, caressed her virgin bosom, and poured out their lust upon her. Therefore I handed her over to her lovers, the Assyrians, for whom she lusted. They stripped her naked, took away her sons and daughters, and killed her with the sword. She became a byword among women, and punishment was inflicted on her. Her sister Oholah saw this, yet in her lust and prostitution she was more depraved than her sister. She too lusted after the Assyrians, governors and commanders, warriors in full dress. In full dress, where are we there? full-dressed mounted horsemen, all handsome young men. I saw that she too defiled herself. Both of them went the same way. But she carried her prostitution still farther. She saw men portrayed on a wall, figures of Chaldeans portrayed in red, with belts around their waists and flowing turbans on their heads. All of them looked like Babylonian chariot officers, natives of Chaldea. As soon as she saw them, she lusted after them and sent messengers to them in Chaldea. Then the Babylonians came to her to the bed of love, and their lust they defiled her. After she had been defiled by them, she turned away from them in disgust. When she carried on her prostitution openly and exposed her nakedness, I turned away from her in disgust, just as I had turned away from her sister. Yet she became more and more promiscuous as she recalled the days of her youth, when she was a prostitute in Egypt. There she lusted after her lovers, whose genitals were like those of donkeys and whose emission was like that of horses. So you longed for the lewdness of your youth, when in Egypt your bosom was caressed and your young breast fondled. Therefore, O Holabah, this is what the Sovereign Lord says: I will stir up your lovers against you, those you turned away from in disgust, and I will bring them against you from every side, the Babylonians and all the Chaldeans, the men of Pekod and Shoa and Koa, and all the Assyrians with them, handsome young men, all of them governors and commanders, chariot officers, and men of high rank, all mounted on horses. They will come against you with weapons, chariots, and wagons, and with a throng of people they will take up positions against you on every side with large and small shields and with helmets. I will turn you over to them for punishment. They will punish you according to their standards. I will direct my jealous anger against you, and they will deal with you in fury. They will cut off your noses and your ears, and those of you who are left will fall by the sword. They will take away your sons and daughters, and those of you who are left will be consumed by fire. They will also strip you of your clothes and take your fine jewelry. So I will put a stop to the lewdness and prostitution you began in Egypt. You will not look on those things with longing or remember Egypt any more. For this is what the Sovereign Lord says: I am about to hand you over to those you hate, to those you turned away from in disgust. They will deal with you in hatred and take away everything you have worked for. They will leave you naked and bare, and the shame of prostitution will be exposed. Your lewdness and promiscuity have brought this upon you, because you lusted after the nations and defiled yourself with their idols. You have gone the way of your sister, so I will put her cup into your hand. This is what the Sovereign Lord says. You will drink your sister's cup, a large cup and deep. It will bring scorn and derision, for it holds so much. You will be filled with drunkenness and sorrow, the cup of ruin and desolation, the cup of your sister Samaria. You will drink it and drain it dry. You will dash it to pieces and tear your breasts. I have spoken, declares the Sovereign Lord. Well, I tell you this much. That is one hell of a story. That is one hell of a story. I wonder how many people got aroused with that story. I don't know. They sure go into detail. Jesus Christ. Whoever wrote this should be shot and pissed on for coming up with that. I tell you this much. Who are the lovers in this world? Who are the ones that are loving? It is the female prostitutes. We're the ones that are loving. We're the ones that are loving. And I know that God loves me totally through and through, and there's nothing that I do that disappoints God. Nothing. The Bible is it's really judgmental. And it says God says things, and God doesn't say things. And about two adulterous sisters, I mean, that could be anybody goes through these type of things. It's just every woman goes through a case of prostitution in her life, I'm sure of it, where somebody has offered her money for sex. It is the most simple, basic thing that you can happen between a man and a woman. And think of it, when you get married, aren't you prostituting yourself to your husband? Like, you're like giving him sex, and he's going to take care of you, put a roof over your head, and pay for all your bills. That's the way it goes. And when you work for somebody, you're their prostitute. That's just the way it is. So I heard that one of the owners of a football team, I don't know who it was, but got caught in a massage parlor, a sting operation. You must be fucking kidding me. It is none of anybody's goddamn business who's getting a rub down, and I guarantee you the cops that arrested him are going to the rub down too. So why do it? Why arrest somebody for the basic urge to get off, which is the basic urge of life, to have an orgasm? And my God, if his wife's not coming across and he doesn't like the look of her anymore and he needs a pretty little Asian girl, then my God, let him go wherever the hell he wants and pay as much as he wants for whatever the fuck he wants. It's none of anybody's business. And if that guy ever heard of what I'm saying here, I would offer to be his lawyer, and I would say complete innocence, and you cite your God-given right to have an orgasm any way you want, as long as it's not hurting anybody. Who is it fucking hurting when he's having an orgasm there? The girl's getting money for something she enjoys doing, I'm sure, to the better part, unless she's, God, I don't know, but she's probably not a slave. She's probably not a sex slave. I'm against sex slaves. I'm definitely against that. I'm all for a woman having the right to choose what she wants to do with her body. I don't think any man should have the right to say what a woman does with her body. No man. Like, truly. That's truly. My ears itchy. Yeah, no man has the right to say what a woman does with her body. Ever. Ever. And no woman has a right to say what a man does with his body. Ever. We all come out as a single unit, unless you're Siamese. You come out as a single unit, and I believe you should have the say of what you do with your life. And I am completely against prisons. Completely against prisons. They're just cesspools of bad vibes. Cesspools of bad vibes. It's just, they're completely an infringement of everybody's civil rights. Rights they should not forfeit just because they offed somebody's button or got in a fight. Do you think you lock up a bear and a lion because they fought? No, it's just that's what the life is. But if somebody is violent and has hurt somebody else, and they just happen to be evil, they should be extinguished. They just should be extinguished. Or relocated, if it's possible that they could be a nice person. What we want is nice people. Nice people. That's really what God wants, nice people. That's what I'm here to say. I'm for the love side. Really. Anyways, that was left hand random pick. I still have part of a joint here. I've been smoking that. The thing is that I think goodness has a direct link to happiness. Goodness has a direct link to happiness. Like that's I'll have to write that down. And also love equals happiness. But then again, there are always exceptions. Like love can hurt too. Like love is the thing that can really, really fuck you over. My God, I know that. I know love can be absolutely the thing that kills you. I know it. I know it. I really, really, really know it. Love has the most power. Love has the most power. Love has the most power. Okay, as I'm smoking this, I'm going to bring this here. It's going to be a right hand random pick this time. So we'll put this here, this here, and this here. And we'll bring these two together like that. And I will just finish smoking this little joiny joint one. Okay, I'll just write here. It's going to be right hand random pick. RHRP. And I'll just note the time, 3:29 a.m. on the 22nd of March, 2019. Right hand random pick coming right up. Right here. Just like this. Okay. Right hand random pick. Okay, we got a word. Flood. Oh my God. And I just saw a movie like earlier with John Cusack and I don't know who else, John Cusack, and it was like the world had a catastrophic plate change in it, and the whole shape of the land masses changed, and the poles changed, and there were 3 arcs that and there were tsunamis that covered the earth, and 3 arks were launched with the people that they had saved. And John Cusack and his 2 kids, daughter and son, and his wife. And wait till you hear this. You won't believe this. So honest to God, I just saw that movie. It was called, I don't know what it was called, but it was, I don't know what it was called. Like, I don't know. But they ended up saying that it was year 0001, the 27th day of something, year 0001. So they started counting the years over again. So this is Daniel 9:26. Daniel 9:26. I'm going to say John Cusack movie about the end of earth. 3 arks remained. Okay. I'm going to read number 26. After the 62 sevens, the anointed one will be cut off and will have nothing. The people of the ruler who will come will destroy the city and the sanctuary. The end will come like a flood. War will continue until the end, and desolations have been decreed. Okay. Oh my God, I picked this yesterday. Okay. This is, I picked the other side of this yesterday. This is called, the heading is called The 77s. The 77s. Sevens in quotes. Okay, I'm going to read that. While I was speaking and praying, confessing my sin and the sin of my people Israel, and making my request to the Lord my God for his holy hill, while I was still in prayer, Gabriel, the man I had seen in the earlier vision, came to me in swift flight about the time of the evening sacrifice. He instructed me and said to me, Daniel, I have now come to give you insight and understanding. As soon as you began to pray, an answer was given, which I have come to tell you, for you are highly esteemed. Therefore, consider the message and understand the vision. 77s are decreed for your people and your holy city to finish transgression, to put an end to sin, to atone for wickedness, to bring in everlasting righteousness, to seal up vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. Know and understand this, from the issuing of the decree to restore and rebuild Jerusalem until the anointed one, the ruler comes, there will be 7 sevens and 62 sevens. It will be rebuilt with streets and a trench, but in times of trouble. After the 62 sevens, the anointed one will be cut off and will have nothing. The people of the ruler who will come will destroy the city and the sanctuary. The end will come like a flood. War will continue until the end, and desolations have been decreed. He will confirm a covenant with many for 1 7 in the middle of the 7. He will put an end to sacrifice and offering. And on a wing of the temple, He will set up an abomination that causes desolation until the end that is decreed is poured out on him. And I didn't read that yesterday. I came to it, but I didn't read it. So anyway, this is a prophecy. You know, this is all, like, it's just all made up. Like, it's so general. Except, in the middle of the 7, he will put an end to sacrifice and offering. That's what I'd like to do, is put an end to sacrifice and offering. Like, truly, it's, like those churches. So what do I say about this? I've got to say, this sounds like me. While I was speaking and praying, confessing my sin and the sin of my people Israel, and making my request to the Lord my God for his holy hill, while I was still in prayer, Gabriel, the man I had seen in the earlier vision, came to me in swift flight about the time of the evening sacrifice. He instructed me and said to me, Daniel, I have now come to give you insight and understanding. As soon as you began to pray, an answer was given, which I have come to tell you, for you are highly esteemed. Therefore consider the message and understand the vision. 77s are decreed for your people and your holy city to finish transgression, to put an end to sin, to atone for wickedness, to bring in everlasting righteousness, to seal up vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. Well, I think I'm the most holy. No one understand this. From the issuing of the decree to restore and rebuild Jerusalem, no one understand this. From the issuing of the decree to restore and rebuild Jerusalem, until the anointed one, the ruler, comes, there will be 7 sevens and 62 sevens. I was born in 62. And 7 is one of my numbers for sure. 762. And that's what it should be. I mean, Jerusalem should be restored. And basically, I do say I'm the captain of the ship. So, I'm just saying this. It's me, a little tiny voice saying this, but I'm totally connected to God. So, it's coming from God, fueling me this. As well, I'm also bipolar, so manic, definitely. But, okay. And so rebuilding the city. After the 62 sevens, the anointed one will be cut off and will have nothing. And that's me now. After the 62 sevens, the anointed one will be cut off, which is what I have been. I've cut myself off. And will have nothing. And that is it. I have nothing now. Nothing. The people of the ruler who will come will destroy the city and the sanctuary. The end will come like a flood. And I just saw that movie, The End Come Like a Flood. War will continue until the end, and desolations have been decreed. He will confirm a covenant with many for 1 7. In the middle of the 7, he will put an end to sacrifice and offering, and on a wing of temple he will set up an abomination that causes desolation until the end that is decreed is poured out on him. Well, we'll see what the end is going to be, and we'll see. I don't do anything with the temple, though. So that's interesting. I read from the 77th from Daniel 9:20. Read from Daniel 9:20 to 27. To 27. To 27. That feels good. 227. Anyway, that's it for that. So, did I want to say anything about that? It's all just, it's prophecy, and it's all just, they just made it up. So let's have a smoke, and then that's gonna be it for today. Now I need a paper. There it is right there. And if you're worried about, I just scratched my ear or just rubbed my ear, and now I'm smoking a joint from the finger that was in my ear. Oh, baby. Are you afraid of germs? I'd be more afraid of God. Oh, if you told me you would drown me, of course I'd lend a hand. Oh, I've seen your face before, my friend, but I don't know if you know who I am. I was there and I saw what you did. I saw